Hello, Sovereign Family. How are you? Happy Tarot Tuesday. My name is Vanessa, and I am here to do a Tarot Tuesday collective reading. I also want to touch upon the energies of today because they're very fun and exciting, and it's always good to know what's going on in the universe, the energies that are out there on the different ancient calendars, right? The more we tap into those energies and get to know them, the more we re-indigenize and align to the energies of the earth, of the planet, of the collective, the easier it is for us to flow in that energy. And I like then calling in the assistance of the tarot to help provide a little bit more guidance too, especially when we're not exactly sure how to apply the energies, how to work with the energies. The tarot is a really great way of providing a little bit of guidance, a little bit of perspective. I like to work with the tarot as a way to kind of help me map out what my plans are. I think I tend to be very, I guess we all to some degree know how we operate. We like how we operate. We're comfortable with how we operate. So the idea of working with the tarot and identifying the different archetypes that are available to us helps us kind of step out of our own comfort zone, out of our own way of thinking, and potentially try something different. So today in the Mexica calendar, or the Aztec calendar as it's known, it is a day Nahui Cuetzpallin, which is for lizard. Now the word Nahui, the number 4, derives from Nantli, which is mother, and Hui, which is order. So it's the order of the mother, of Mother Earth. So this refers to that balance on the earth, the 4 directions, the 4 elements, the 4 seasons. And so when we tap into this energy, it's about working to maintain that balance, learning to work within that natural order that already exists in the universe. And we have a tendency as human beings to go all or nothing, or the way our colonized society works is that we work 24/7. We try to follow the same schedule every single day because that's the way we've been taught is the way to be more productive. And so we don't have this general, we're not always drawn to being in allowance, to flow with the cycles, to flow with the order that already exists, right? We want to create order in our own way because nature is so unpredictable. But maybe that's the way it's meant to be. Maybe that's the way that creates the balance, right? If it's all work, and there's no time to rest, there's no time for balance, that creates an imbalance in the entire universe, right? So Cuetzpallin is the lizard, and the lizard is very much, I want to say, I feel into the lizard as a little bit of that Leo energy, right? The lizard likes to bask in the sun, and it's very, in the Aztec mythology, the lizard, or the Aztec cosmology, the lizard has a very sexual energy. It's very much about that creative sexual energy. And so today, this is an invitation for us to tap into that creative sexual energy. And sometimes we think about it, our society tends to go all or nothing. And just because sexual energy is present doesn't mean that we have to necessarily engage in sexual activity, but rather tap into that energy, right? That's the practice of Tantra, of learning how to direct that sexual energy, how to tap into it and direct it in a way that benefits what you want to create. Because while, yes, we can create life with sexual energy, we can also give birth to new projects, to new ideas. There are so many options for what we can create with sexual energy. So today is a day with lots of sexual energy, with lots of that basking and enjoying, and that sort of like seductive energy, which we can take it where it is, right? Where are you right now with your sexual energy? How do you feel about your sexual energy? And can you be okay with where you are in this moment in your sexual energy? Because there is a natural order to all of it as well. And so what I would say, what I'm feeling into today in particular about this energy is that it's learning, try the practice of directing your sexual energy. Recently, I think that I've been tapping a little bit more into my sexual energy, and that has opened up so many things. It's opened up another layer of healing for me. I think as a society, as a collective, we are kind of distanced from sexual energy, and not that we're distanced from sex, but distanced from understanding how to work with sexual energy. And so as I kind of come back into this, my husband and I are learning and tapping into tantric practices, and it has brought up a whole other layer of healing, a bunch of different ways of recognizing where we have blockages, where we have creative blockages to abundance, blockages, and that's right, creativity, sexual energy is creation, it's new life, and so that's also abundance. How comfortable are we with abundance? It's also tied into how comfortable we are with our sexual energy. So this is a great time to kind of ask ourselves those questions and see how we feel about it, and recognize that where we are is in that natural order as well. Honor that order of where we are in terms of that energy, and remember that energy is available to us at all times. One of the things that I recently felt into, or learned, heard, and recognized, was that I've read, I think we've talked about this on the podcast before, but I've read the book Existential Kink, right? And it talks about working also with sexual energy to process the things that you are resisting. And I think in some ways I understood it conceptually, but there was something that I think perhaps was missing for me. There was a dot that I wasn't quite connecting. And the other day, Danny said to me, it's all sexual energy, right? The energy of ecstasy, the energy of pure bliss and joy, right? That's the sexual energy in its purest form. So sometimes we make the decision or the judgment of certain things are not meant to be felt in that way, right? We judge what should be felt with that joy and ecstasy and what things shouldn't. And when we do that, we create blockages, right? Because we're saying that doesn't deserve my joy and my ecstasy and my excitement and my pure bliss, right? And so when we do that, we create a blockage where we are saying, oh, this is where I stop that energy from flowing. And it is all energetic. So I think connecting that dot has really opened me up to see sexual energy in a very different way. And again, there are a lot of these things that I've understood conceptually, but as I'm starting to feel it and understand it on a deeper level, it opens up a world of possibilities and an interesting way of learning how to work with the energies, how to direct the energies in a way that is aligned for my best and highest good. So I just shuffled the deck while I was talking, and a couple of cards popped out, so we're just going to jump right into that. First, we have the Nurturer of Wands, and this is also very fire energy. The Nurturer of Wands in this deck is the Queen of Wands, and wands are about our passion, our creativity, our inspiration, the things that fuel our fire, right? What are the things that you're most excited about, and how can you nurture that today? Right? How can you tap into the things that spark that creative energy? And that's the thing, right? That creative energy in some ways feels like sexual energy because it is sexual energy. So how can you tap into the things that light your inner fire, that are your absolute yes. Your 100% yes. This is what I want. So how can we tap into that energy today and nurture it? How can we allow ourselves to embody it, to show up as the queen, right? How can you, it's Leo season, how can you be royal and regal about it? How can you allow it to flow through your body and express itself through you, flow through you? And the next card, we've got lots of really interesting, we've got another wand card. This is the Messenger of Wands in reverse, which is the Page of Wands. And messengers are it's a message, right? This is an invitation. This it came out in reverse. So this is an invitation to tap into what messages you're receiving. What nudges are you getting from the universe, right? The universe has its divine order, its divine perfection. Today is the day of order and perfection. How are you receiving nudges from the universe that you're potentially not paying attention to, right? How are you being directed to tap into that fire energy, to that inner soul's purpose, that thing that gets you excited and motivated? How are you staying away from it, even though the universe is ringing the doorbell and saying, hey, this is the thing for you, this is what I want you to check in with, to dive into today? So I would say this is your invitation to pay attention, right? If you looked at this card and said, well, I'm not really sure what I want to do, what gets me excited, what feels good, what lights my inner fire, how can you pay attention to the messages? What are small ways in which the universe, in which nature is showing you? It's summertime, right? It's time to go out and be in nature. And today is the perfect day because of the 4 in the Mexica calendar to tap into that energy of the earth. Go out into the grass and plant your bare feet on the grass, on the ground, and allow the energy to hold you, allow it to nurture you, allow yourself to receive the messages from the earth that are kind of directing you. And remember, anything that you tap into, anything that creates some fire today, it doesn't have to be that for the rest of your life, right? You could just tap into it today. And maybe that's the exercise, right? Maybe that's the message of allowing ourselves to tap into what gets us excited today. And we exist today in this moment. We don't have to commit to it for life. So maybe today you want to sing song. So go for it. Sing. Allow your heart to express itself through song. Maybe tomorrow you'll be in the mood to do some dancing. Or maybe the next day you'll want to go out for a run. Maybe you want to cook something delicious in the kitchen, and that's really going to light your fire, right? It doesn't have to be something that you have to commit for life, but rather tap into the thing so that you start recognizing when your inner fire is lit up. And the last card is the Tower. The Tower in reverse. So the Tower for me is all about those moments that feel like everything is falling apart. And I think sometimes it's very difficult to tap into the things that get us excited when we feel like everything around us is falling apart. I know that when my finances are not in order, when I feel like I have things to do that I haven't gotten to, I struggle. I struggle with finding motivation. I struggle with being creative. I struggle with showing up. Right? But sometimes these things have to fall apart so that you can tap into the things that you want to do, right? Clearly, if you're in a place where things are not working out, it means that the process that you've been doing hasn't been working. So perhaps it's time to try something new, to allow this process to crumble so that you can tap into something different and go into your intuition, right? Sit with yourself. Go out, like I said, with this messenger. What messages is the universe trying to send you? What messages is Mother Earth trying to give you? So how can you step out into nature, even if you're not walking barefoot and grounding? But how can you step out into nature, allow the sun to just warm your face up or your body up. Allow yourself to feel that. If you're anywhere near the beach or near a river or near any flowing water, go sit by the water and allow the sounds of the water to guide you. Go stand in a forest, or I live in a neighborhood where we have tons and tons of trees, and I love taking those walks in the morning when I'm walking my dog and seeing all the trees, and sometimes the way the sun hits the trees, it's just this beautiful, beautiful sight. And I think that when I'm present with it, little thoughts pop in, and sometimes we think like, oh, my mind's getting distracted or whatever, but sometimes those thoughts are the messages, right? Like, oh, I just had a thought, maybe today I want to try this, or oh, I just remembered this person, maybe I'll shoot them a message and see what they're up to, have a chat with them, right? So kind of allow yourself to be present and pay attention to the messages that come through, because those are messages from the universe. When we allow ourselves to marvel in what the earth is doing, in that divine order of the earth, then we allow those messages to flow through, and then we can really tap into the things that get us excited, right? What are the things that get you excited? So on this day, on this Nahui Cuetzpallin for Lizard, I invite you to tap into what the earth is trying to tell you, to tap into that sexual, creative energy, and nurture the thoughts, right? Nurture the messages that are coming through. First of all, pay attention to the messages that are coming through. Let them speak to you. Let these messages flow through. And if they feel exciting, if it feels like something that truly feels like a yes to you, and this is why it requires sometimes things to fall apart, so that we can really tap into our intuition, so that we can tap into what is truth for us, right? Obviously, if you get a message to do something that is not in alignment with your higher self, it's not going to feel 100% perfect in your body. So this is a reminder to let the things that don't fit your lifestyle anymore crumble. Listen to the messages that the universe is trying to give you, that the earth in its divine perfection and divine knowledge are trying to tell you, and go ahead and nurture your creative passions. This is the time for you to do the things that are exciting for you, the things that make you come alive. And that is our message for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it resonates. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead and leave them in the comments. Also, for the rest of this Lionsgate portal, which ends on August 12th, I am offering Lionsgate portal tarot readings for $44. So you can DM me to book those. And I'm also available for Aztec birth chart readings. Those are $88, and they provide a wealth of information on the energies that were present on the day you were born, and what energies you can tap into in order to fulfill your life's purpose as well. So thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. I love you, and happy day for Lizard. Bye.